Now, the making of a good compilation tape is a very subtle art, many do's and don'ts.
Let's make a playlist.
First of all, you're using someone else's poetry to express how you feel. This is a delicate thing.
Let's make a playlist.
You gotta kick it off with a killer to grab attention. Then you gotta take it up a notch. But you don't want to blow your wad, so then you gotta cool it off a notch. There are a lot of rules.
No rules here. This is Let's Make a Playlist with Jonathan Howe. Welcome to Let's Make a Playlist, the show where I, Jonathan Howe, welcome musicians and other creatives in to make a 12-song playlist and get them talking about the music that has shaped their lives and their worlds. In addition to the podcast, I have a Substack where I write about music and share links to listen along to the songs selected by each guest. You can subscribe for free with or without a Substack account to receive my writing in your inbox, or you can support me and my coverage of the Niagara music scene for $5 a month by subscribing. househouse.substack.com. Find the link in the description of the episode as well. After a little break for Easter, we are back, and I'll be joined on this episode by Jay Knelsen, who fronts the Niagara-based alternative rock band three-piece Real Kevin. Right off the hop here, I am going to address something for both Jay and I, and everyone out there. It is okay to nerd out. This episode contains a lot of tangents, conversations that spiderweb off into not always adjacent topics, which I think Jay kind of felt bad for, and listening back to the edit, all I could think was, why? Maybe I am reading a little too much into things, but when did it become a crime to get off the rails in a conversation? I feel like anytime anyone starts down the rabbit hole away from a specific plot of a conversation, there's this immediate response where they'll feel bad or apologize. I also get that way. Working in radio, I have had to learn to talk in a limited fashion, type breaks around 90 seconds to convey information, tell a joke, announce a concert, read a text from a listener. The window is small and doesn't always leave room for anything but directness. Now, I can meander a little bit if I don't check myself, but that's because I have a passion for what I'm talking about. That's the reason this show exists, to talk to passionate people about their passion without worry of a time constraint. If you go for a coffee or a beer with a friend, you don't worry about how long it takes to tell a story. You just have a natural dialogue. Maybe we aren't doing that enough, and that's what has so many of us feeling isolated to begin with. When sharing with friends or strangers means getting to the point before a time limit on a social media story runs out, or talking to a screen and hoping an algorithm grabs it and spits it out into the world appropriately, of course you're going to feel rushed with what you have to say. It's easy to feel long-winded if we have become conditioned to receive information in a timely manner. Where is the room to be passionate if attention spans are eroded? Jay's a passionate dude. We had met and talked before when my band Green White Checkered played with Real Kevin in St. Catharines. We bonded over our love of the Replacements, about cover gigs, and trying to make our three-piece sounds as full as possible. In this podcast, I got to watch Jay truly nerd out about not only music, but film and writing, and ask about the importance of sharing your music on a physical media, which Real Kevin's always put an emphasis on. I had a conversation with a dude who loves everything to do with music, and it was abundantly clear from our chat. I cannot wait to hear Real Kevin's next single, Living and Dying in Utah. I'm stoked to see what the summer will bring for them. And hey, you never know. Maybe there's a show together on the horizon. For now, here's my conversation with Jay Knelsen of Real Kevin on Let's Make a Playlist. All right, joining me on this week's edition of Let's Make a Playlist, it's a pal that I've had a chance to share a bill with. Our bands have played together in the past, and he's a good dude. It's Jay Knelsen of Real Kevin. What's going on, Jay?
Not a whole lot, man. Just got in from work, actually. My cat's meowing at the door. How are you doing, Jonathan?
Not too bad. I'm familiar with the cats wanting to interrupt the interview. I've got 4 of them here that like to jump on every once in a while, so I get that
He does
vibe.
not care she doesn't care at all that I was home. She only cares that I'm on a call now. So
Yeah, exactly. You're not paying
yeah,
attention to me, so that's the real issue here. So,
you've got
uh,
it.
welcome to the
Poor
show.
though, man. I'm jealous. Yeah.
Oh,
Thanks so much for having me.
it's nothing to be too jealous about. It's all fun and games till dinner time, and then you've got four of them screaming at you. But
I love it.
yeah, this is a great opportunity to catch up. I mean, I think it was maybe back in March or April our bands played together in 2025, so we haven't really talked, or I don't know if I've seen you much since then. So tell us about what's going on in the world of Real Kevin, because I know that you're doing some recording, because we also talked to your engineer pal Josh on the show just a little while ago.
Yeah. So we just at the end of last year had finished with producing and putting out our vinyl 7-inch for a single called April that you were generous enough to write a little blurb on and show yourself opening it up and everything. And that was really cool of you. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. Yeah, we finished that. We've got that out and for sale and got a bunch of new merch and all this stuff to kind of go along with it. But obviously, as I'm sure you understand that every time you release something, you're like in the middle of doing everything that comes next,
Yeah.
and you already don't care about the thing that you just did. So yeah, we're in the middle of doing it's going to end up being 5 tracks, one of which will be exclusively available online. The other 4 are going to go on a vinyl as well. And it's a demo called Tournament.
Mm.
That's all new tunes we've been working on and playing live quite a bit already, but that we're like, we got to get this thing recorded. And we had an awesome experience working on the very first tune at 2K Studios with Josh and John. And it just ended up, I was like, okay, let's do another one. Let's do another one. And then before we knew it, we were like, okay, we got something here. And yeah, it's going great. We're having a blast there. Those guys are awesome. Shout out to Nitro Girl.
Yes, shout out. Great band from the region, and you guys are it's I find it interesting that you guys are still willing to pursue the, I guess, physical medium of music as well. I know sometimes those costs can be exorbitant and can be a little bit scary at times if you're a new band and then you're doing the math on like, okay, I have to order this much and then I have to sell that much to get that, but like to do the math on it can get a little bit crazy. But why is it important to you, and is that something that you want to make sure you're continuing to do for every release, is to try to find a way to get out the digital single but also have some vinyl, have some physical media as well?
I find that anytime I've been to see a band, and if I get really into them, it's nice to have like a keepsake, like a memento of the night. And you can only buy so many T-shirts, and
True.
and I mean, and I listen to vinyl still quite a bit, but not as much as I own. I would say like I end up there. It's like a fun collectible, and it's like a cool timestamp for where that band was at that era that you
Mm,
don't really get. You're never gonna get that on Spotify or anywhere else because everything has such a high turnover rate. I find that, yeah, there's like a time capsule, something romantic also about actually physically putting a vinyl on, dropping the needle on. And I know that sounds like real cliche, but it's a different experience, I think, listening to it that way. And so it's important to us that we do that. We forever would hand out free CDs at gigs that I burned myself and created the artwork for and all that. And that was also expensive, and I found it ended up being a Frisbee or a coaster more than found its way into anybody's car, which don't have CD players anymore. It was really a foolish thing we did. But yeah, so this is just kind of the way better way of doing that. And I think like cassettes seem to be coming back as well. And I don't
yeah.
know anybody that owns a cassette player, let alone a car that has one in it still. So I feel like vinyl's a pretty safe. Like it's stood the test of time so far. Yeah, so that's kind of the real thing. And like I said, just based on my experience as a fan of music, it's such a nice thing to be able to own like a copy of something that isn't just in a cloud somewhere. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel that for sure. I mean, I've got a pretty big collection of records and still like it, and happy to have your latest single in it. So I appreciate getting hooked up with that. That was awesome. I guess let's talk a little bit about Real Kevin and how the band kind of got going, and what you guys um I guess what keeps you going these days, and why you still chase that dragon, chase that dream of writing songs, releasing songs, and going out and doing the live thing. Because I feel like you guys have been at it for a fairly decent amount of time at this point, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing in bands with our drummer Johnny since I was in high school. We were in like a screamo band, and have kind of been at it forever. And we just, I can't, I can't. I love writing music. It's like my whole everything that drives me into music at all, and performing it and doing all. I just love to get to write music, and part of what goes hand in hand with that is like trying to get as many ears on it as I can. Um, and that's how it kind of started, and then it's also developed into kind of like we love playing gigs and performing, and the ritual of setting all your gear up, and it's just there's something about it, and yeah, it's grown into an obsession or an addiction almost, like you said, and yeah, so me and John have been at it forever. We've had a couple different bass players throughout the history of us getting together. We've had Dan Hyatt in our band for probably got to be 6 years now at least. And he still is doing we play a bunch of cover gigs to cover the costs of all of our funding our original stuff. Like that's what me and John put all that money into. Um, Danny is kind of doing our cover gigs. And then just over the last probably couple months, we've introduced a new bass player, also named Dan, Siri from the area. Plays in a couple different bands, but he's been covering original gigs with us lately. So it's just kind of me and Johnny are very very tight. We've been best friends for we were each other's best men at each other's weddings that were a week
Nice.
apart 2 summers ago, and yeah, so we just can't we push each other a lot, and can't get enough of gigging and writing, and yeah. So I'm sorry, that was a really long-winded answer for what
No,
you
that's
asked.
great. No, that's great. And then I guess, you know, with where you guys are at, what you guys have experienced in the music industry, what goals do you guys have for Real Kevin? Like, what's the next, I guess, dream steps, but also just like realistic targets that you guys want to try to hit?
Um, Honestly, man, playing the festival circuit and getting on as many of those, being kind of me and John often cite like the phrase like being undeniably good is like all our goal is like I just want to be good enough that no matter who hears us on any night or what little video clip gets posted from someone's phone, just the drive to be a perfectionist and just be undeniably good,
Yeah.
and that I feel like a lot of things fall into place after that. I mean, it takes a lot of hard work on the business side of things, and thankfully we have a manager that helps us along with that stuff. It's Z Pod Entertainment, a guy named Eddie who's been very instrumental in kind of whipping us into shape and kind of making us see how to actually plan out releasing things and doing that whole thing. But the goal is literally just like release as much music as we can and keep this thing kind of going for as long as we can and play bigger gigs. Just, I'm sure
Yeah.
we were talking right before we came on, and you guys are doing the same thing with the like just making sure we can get up applied to as many festivals as possible,
Yeah.
because playing any of those is such a great time. Like we got to play Sound of Music last year, and it was so cool just to hang out, meet some other bands, meet some people, play a big stage. All that stuff is like,
Yeah.
it's just you second you do that once, you're like, I want to live that day again over and over again. Like, yeah,
And
we've
there's,
had the joy of. Sorry, go ahead.
well, I was just gonna say there's a level of sustainability too to doing the festival circuit as opposed to, when I talk to bands, Days on Parade's a great example where they've been hitting it hard doing the 401 trips, right? And those 401 trips
Oh,
can go one of two ways, and they can be really positive and they can be really negative experiences too, right? And depending on everybody else's situation in life outside the band, they might not always make sense to do those kind of rips as opposed to, hey, we got on this festival. Now we're going to hit this festival. Now we're going to hit this one. And all of a sudden, you've got yourself just as many paying gigs in front of just as many faces without the hassle of having to worry about tickets and who's a local opener and whatever else. All those other things that maybe people don't think about when it comes to having a band from out of town come into town.
yeah. Honestly, it's also like I find when we get to play a bigger gig, it's a lot easier to justify all the work that goes into it to
Mm.
our families and our support system that are so like that are great for us and there for us. I mean, we all work. I mean, me and John work regular jobs, and the amount of work outside of it. I mean, we're both married. He just had a kid, and like seeing us kind of get some of those big gigs and play those, there is a little feeling of like, oh, it's paying off at least. Like because it's really tough when you do the 7-hour trip or 6-hour trip to Ottawa to play a couple gigs, and you're sending pictures home, and it's like, we
Yeah.
played for the other bands. It was fun.
Yeah, right. It was great.
It's a
We
little
sold a
like,
T-shirt or two.
yes, yeah. We're like, oh, cool. We didn't make our gas money back, but we had a great time. And it's like, well, which is great. Don't get me wrong. Like
Yeah.
I love having a great time, and it's important to play those gigs and do that. But it's like, it's just, that'll grind on you faster than anything else. It's important. It's important to do it, and we love getting out, and trying to see as many different markets as we can. I mean, we've limited our Niagara gigs now to just a couple times a year because
Yeah.
it got a little, we got a little, felt like we were saturating the area a little bit, playing as often as we were, and now, yeah, so now we're really trying to get summer ramped up where we can go out, Kitchener and London, and go out that way as well, and Chatham, and then, yeah, do our best to kind of also cover Ottawa and up that way in Montreal. So
Yeah. That's awesome.
yeah.
And I guess one of the things too that I love about you guys, fellow three-piece as well, and how does that affect your dynamic in terms of writing, creating songs, when you don't have a rhythm guitar player, you don't have keys, or you don't necessarily write with the intention of filling things out with multiple players? It's, you yourself, a bass player and a drummer. How does that affect your writing style and how you guys create music together as Real Kevin?
So I've been writing. I try to make I try to make a home album every year of minimum 10 to 15 songs that I record in my basement myself. And I just plug away at that at all times. That's constantly, I have that going while we do everything else that we do, um, as kind of a outlet for me, because it's something that's important to me to write as much as I can. And then I send everything to the guys and say, like, have your pick. Like, tell me if any of these interest you. And then I don't really have to make uh, any. I don't put the constraints on myself of like, oh, it has to be 3-piece applicable only.
Mm,
There's not, you know what I mean? Because
yeah.
I try to kill it with volume, and just make as much as possible. I send everything to them. I'm sure it's annoying. I send everything to them. And they'll go, oh, I love this. I love this part of this song. I love it. And it kind of jumps off from there. And how would we perform this part? What's a cool way to do that? And that will develop into like what ends up being what we play on stage. So it kind of is, I'll be honest, it's a huge benefit to me, like best of both worlds, to find a couple like best friends that are cool enough to, oblige, listen to and pour through the catalog, and then go, oh, I loved it. I like, actually find the songs they love and want to play. And then we just kind of hash it out from there. So at least we have like a jumping off point. I
Mhm.
found when we were younger, there was a lot more of the song was written in the jam space altogether.
Yes.
And it just kind of, I hate to say it, but like we kind of lost having the luxury of time like that, where usually when we get together now, like it's a rehearsal. There's not a
Yeah.
lot of jamming, so to speak, which sucks. Like it's not how I like it to be. It's just like circumstantial. And I mean, we hash everything out still and work it out, and everybody kind of gets to have their say. But it's definitely like I pour as much time as I can on my own, and then we have at least like a foundation to jump off from. Do you find you guys are in a similar situation now with scheduling, or is it a jamming it out?
It's a little bit trickier with us because we, basically over the last like year and a half, Green White Checkers kind of established ourselves as like being a collective, and like we're all bringing something to the table. I mean, um, and sometimes that can be detrimental and a little bit chaotic. Like I talked to Luke Bentham about the Dirty Nil about this, and he kind of, I'm paraphrasing here, but talked about the idea that you kind of have to have one dominant songwriter or one person to really execute the ideas or whatever, because then everybody kind of it avoids people, getting obsessed with their own ideas and trying to push their stuff forward over top of somebody else's or whatever, right? So balancing that with the idea of wanting to be a collective, because we all do write and we all do bring songs to the table and we all do bring parts to the table, I'm still finding that being in the room is probably our most effective time to work a lot of that stuff out. And it we do feel really lucky, at least I from my perspective, that our communication is where it's at and it's easy enough for us to, I guess, like, hash out anything. Like, we sat on Tuesday night and worked out a song that, my drummer wrote, and he didn't really have a way to get out of it. And I'm like, okay, I need a structure. Like, I can do a scratch track to this, but I'm like, where does it end? Like,
Yeah.
and like it was kind of a song in two parts. And so we were working on that. And like, but after like an hour of hammering it out and being like, well, what if we did this? And then this person says, well, what if we did that? And what if we did? You kind of come up with something that all three of us are happy with, that we can all live with. But it really just depends on the song, because there's other songs that we bring to the table and it's like, hey, this is pretty much fully written. This is how I think the drums are going to go, but you do your thing. This is how I think the bass is going to go, but you do your thing. And then that's that. And we can immediately start rehearsing it. So I do find it's a little bit song by song, but I am grateful that we don't have a busy enough schedule right now that jam time is taken away from us. So
Right. Yeah.
it's nice that way.
I ended up in a spot where I played drums in some other bands and stuff as well on the side. I play bass a lot,
Mhm.
and I write on every instrument. Like, that's my, like, I play keys a ton, and I just like try to write. I find that it's easiest to uh plow through a roadblock in a songwriting session, where if I'm struggling about something, to grab a different instrument
Mhm.
and try it from there, and then all of a sudden it'll start to kind of unravel a little bit. So for me, part of the process is doing all of the parts and recording them, and because a lot of the time while I'm writing, recording it myself changes everything that I
Yeah.
thought about how it could go. And I'll take spots and go, oh, this is actually a great intro, and work it out like that. And it is great to have people that are like down to kind of see a vision through to the end. Having said that, I don't like hold them to like, that's the way you played that drum beat because that's
Yeah.
how I would play. Like, there's none of that. It's kind of just, do we all think that sounds good, and do we think it sounds full? I find we're talking about that more than anything, is again, because we're a three piece. We'll have parts where it's like, if I'm playing a guitar lead, I'm like, I don't think you can play tight hi-hats here. And like, you know what I mean? There's like little
Yeah.
like things where it's like,
Absolutely.
I know that's how you want to play that beat probably, but there's compromises we end up having to make to be like, how do we make us sound as full as possible and not sound thin on stage? Cause that's always something I'm worried about, is how can I'm not playing rhythm at the same time as I'm doing this
Mhm.
lead. What does that sound like to everybody else?
Yeah.
And yeah, so I mean, which I'm sure is a thing you struggle with, or not struggle with, but it's a thing you have to consider all the time.
Definitely. It's changed my guitar playing a little bit, and how I would go to do a solo or even like any kind of lead work. It's like, okay, how is this fitting with the bass player? How's this fitting with everything else? You mentioned doing cover gigs. So before we get to making the playlist here, last one I got for you is, when it comes to covers, this is my favorite thing to ask anybody who does covers regularly. What is a cover song that you think most bands or artists who do covers have overdone? It's a song that has to be put away from the cover sets from all these bar bands. And what's one song that maybe you've played or you've seen somebody else doing covers play where you're like, wow, that worked as a cover way better than I thought it ever would?
How much time do you have, man? the the list of songs that need to be fucking retired forever is so long.
Yeah.
If I hear Sweet Caroline one more time, Sweet Home Alabama, and just Wagon Wheel. They're like, there's so many that are just like, oh, you've got to be kidding! Like, that's what we're playing, and I honestly, we thankfully don't find ourselves in a position where we have to do that much. We take a lot of requests, and so I find that helps, because not a lot of people want to request a song that's like, oh, these guys hear this 1,000 times. Like, no one's usually yelling out, unless they're joking. They might say Freebird.
Yeah.
Which then we'll play just as like here you go, you
Yeah.
wanted this. But but yeah, we take requests a lot of the night, because just and some of it we'll learn on the fly, and it's sometimes you fall on your face. I find the audience responds way more to you being uh, a little more vulnerable than like, this is the set list and we don't deviate, and that I find makes it a lot of fun. But man, those songs, like the staples that just like kind of your soul out to play.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, I know it has a big resurgence right now, but like anything pop country is not up my alley, man. Having to play
Yep.
Florida Georgia Line at midnight in a bar is not something I want to be doing, but I've been there. I've been
Yeah.
there, man.
Yeah.
How
I
about
feel
you?
ya.
What do you find? What is your like do not cover? If you guys are playing a cover gig, what's on
Ooh.
the do not playlist?
I'm probably with you, probably on like Sweet Home Alabama is kind of over and done with. Sweet Caroline, it changes. Like I've done a couple of cover sets for like senior homes and stuff like that. And that I'm like, okay, well,
Okay.
there it makes a
Yeah.
bit more sense. But like, I don't know. Do I really want to do it? I'm like,
They don't do the shouting part either, do they?
it's not really. They
So
don't get
good.
it.
So good.
No, they're not quite doing that. So, but I feel like for me, I like a cover set that's weird, or I like hearing a cover that's a little bit like, I like one that's a little bit more niche. Like I remember being at like a Boston Pizza or something, and somebody started doing an Alexis on Fire cover, but like acoustic, and I was like,
Oh, cool.
this shouldn't work. I know this song, and I'm like losing my mind. And all my friends are at the bar like, what? I don't care. Like, what is this? And I'm like, it's Alexis. You don't get it. I don't believe this guy is doing this. So for me, anytime I'm picking cover songs, I'm trying to think of like one like kind of out there one that some old head or like, you know, somebody who is of a certain like generation's gonna be like, I can't believe this guy's playing that song. So, but yeah, I would say Sweet Caroline and Sweet Home Alabama are the first two that come to mind. Wagon Wheel is definitely another one that's like a little bit overdone at this point. Those are three great picks for the done category, I would say, of covers. So on that note, it's time to start
Oh, I
making a
didn't tell you.
playlist.
Sorry,
Oh, go for it.
I didn't tell you what good ones are.
Yes.
I feel I don't want to be too negative only.
Fair.
We love if I get to play any, I love like finding a way to change or not even change, but like take 80s tunes. Like we'll play like It's My Life by Talk Talk. I don't know if you know that
Yep.
song. No Doubt famously covered
Yep.
it. We'll take songs like that and try to like almost play them as close to possible as the original,
Yep.
even though it's totally synth based. And we play like Cars by Gary Newman.
Nice.
Yeah, and I'll use like a synth pedal and stuff just to kind of do something that's outside of what people think they're going to hear when they see that there's three guys up there.
Yeah.
So we do that a lot, and then my personal there's like secret favorites where it's like I know these ones are just for us.
Yeah.
Where we'll play like I'm a huge Replacements fan.
Nice.
So we play Can't Hardly Wait all the time, and like that's
what a pick.
like. And that one's like just for us, or I'm like, I know not everybody's going to be into this or even know it, but it's fun, and I think like it's just so much fun to play, and yeah, so like we'll do stuff like that, and you know we'll play different, like we'll play like Pavement sometimes or stuff like that, just to kind of, and I'm also a huge Matt Good fan. Like Matthew Good Band is like so dynamite. That Underdogs album from top to bottom is incredible. So we end up, you know, we'll do Indestructible and Rico and stuff like that, which
nice.
And same with Sloan to keep the Canadiana going. Like we love Sloan, so we do a bunch of their stuff. And again, it's got to be a certain kind of night. If everybody's up and dancing, I'm probably not going to play Coax Me. But in general, it's like that's where we're the three of us feel like this is so much fun. Like I don't want to be anywhere else. So yeah. That whole thing. Anyway, sorry. I apologize for cutting you off, but
no, that's fine. I like that answer, and I can appreciate those good picks because it's very similar to how I did it. It was like I think I literally opened like my logs from work on Hits FM and just literally was like, all right, well, that's a little bit of a medley tune, so I'm gonna skip that one. But we could do this '90s song. Oh, we could do this one. Like we can do and just like read off the radio list. And I was like, okay, if it's playing on the radio, people are gonna know it, and people are gonna be happy to hear it as a cover if we can do it right. So that's kind of how
it's a good rule of thumb, man. Actually, I forgot to mention while we were talking about the new stuff we're recording, we like rushed a master of the first single we worked on called Living and Dying in Utah.
Okay.
It is unreleased. It has not been shown to anybody. Literally only the band has heard it. But we did submit it to Handpicked Hits with Ash recently.
Nice.
Yes, I saw that was a feature on her show, and I was like, oh my God, we have to. And I'm like, I don't want to use April. We already put that out. Like, let's see if some of the new recordings from Suitcase Studios will like, you know, push it a little further. So anyway, I just wanted to get the little plug in for that show and for a teaser for our first single that'll be coming out in March.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Ash
that
is doing great
felt
stuff with
hacky,
that.
but
No, it's good. Shout out former guest of the show, Ashley Dara, who is a host on Hits FM, my coworker, and yeah, has a new segment for Niagara bands and Southern Ontario bands where she's going to start featuring an indie artist once a week. So hopefully you
it's a
tune
cool
in for
idea.
that. Yeah, we
I
got to do
like that.
something.
Like it's honestly the scene around here has gotten pretty good lately. Like I'm
Yeah,
very pleasantly surprised. Not surprised. There's always been a lot of good musicians, but I find that they're getting more and more support lately. Like the shows are becoming like more attended, and it's been a nice community lately.
yeah.
Bands like Green White Checkered, and like, it's just you guys are part of the fabric, man. Like there's and Nitro Girl guys. There's just so many like really good people in the scene right now that are
Yeah.
fun to work with and supportive of each other, and I think that's so cool. I don't I don't remember it being as close knit when I was younger. So it's a really cool development.
I'm glad you have that perspective because I think we're roughly around the same age. And like for me, like I'm trying to remember, I think the last year of Scene Fest was either like when I was in like grade 11 or grade 12, something like that. And I remember like that was like a very stark point in where the Niagara scene and what we had going on in Southern Ontario almost like stopped. It was almost like a hard stop of like that festival died,
It's
shows
played
stopped
now.
happening.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I had a couple buddies who would play like L3 in grade 12, and then like by the time they went off to university, that like L3 was just a dance club, and you couldn't
That
have
was
rock
the
shows
coolest
there.
place to play.
Yeah,
We
right.
like we played Red Square with our pop punk band when I was younger. We actually got to play the Hideaway like just a couple times when I was in grade
Nice.
9, which is ridiculous. It makes me sound 1,000 years old, but it was really cool to get to
Yeah,
do that. Yeah, man. And I don't know what like you said, it seemed like it went with seeing that it was like that's it now. This area is just kind of tapped,
hmm
and it feels like it's coming back a bit. And I honestly I would credit uh, Cicada Fest has really done a lot, I think, for the area.
yeah,
That's such a cool festival to bring to Niagara, and like what a great location to pick too. Like
yeah.
that space is like so perfect for a festival. Like they're doing an awesome job with that, and that's really cool.
Yeah, it's really nice to see that it's like the earth is healing, so to speak. The Niagara music scene is healing in a way, and in the
Yeah,
last 5
we're on
years,
our way back.
it's really come
Yeah,
alive, and there's just so many great people to talk to about great music like yourself. So
and man,
that's why the show does it.
you doing this is part of what makes it great. I'm telling you, man. Like I can't like so cool of you to do something like this and be
Somebody had to. Like I just felt like we like, I grew up, not grew up, but like when I moved to Toronto in 2013, that was like right at the peak of like pop. Like, I think like I moved to Toronto. The first show I went to just before I moved was the Riot Fest where the Replacements played, and then
oh,
the first
I'm
local
so
show I went
jealous.
to was Pup opened it. They played at Sneaky D's upstairs. It was like their first album release party. Pew 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 was on the bill. I became a fan of both those bands. I started going to see all their shows in Toronto. Then, from there I got into the OBGMs and then Dirty Nil and all these bands that now, 10 years later are pretty established regular theater touring acts throughout
Yeah.
Southern Ontario. And I was like, oh, this is so cool. This is happening in Toronto. I wish this would happen in Niagara. And I came home and not a ton was happening. And then all of a sudden it started to pick up right around the time the warehouse opened up and got started booking regular shows and having regular big tours come through. Like it's really kind of insane what's happened in the last 5-10 years here in Niagara. And it's needs documentation. So I'm hoping this podcast and some of the writing I do on Substack, that's the whole goal is like when we look back, we'll have some documentation about who was dropping what songs and who knows like what artists are going to break out of here and turn into, massive overnight successes. Like, why can't we be the next Seattle? Who knows?
Absolutely. That's really cool, man. Have you ever read there's a book called Our Band Could Be Your Life? Have you ever heard of that
I've
book?
heard a lot about it, especially from some of the other podcasts I listen to, but I haven't read it myself yet.
It's what's really nice is it's very easily digestible because you can literally just read about a band at a time and kind of hop around. It's not
Mm,
really like in any sort of chronological order. So like there's a whole section about the Replacements in there, Who's Could Do. Like there's like a lot of really cool stuff. Black Flag is the first one, and it's just like reading about what they did kind of to like the road days, essentially dog days on the road. And it's such a cool read. I think you would really dig it, but based on the glowing remarks you have about the area right now.
I will definitely be throwing that one on the reading list. So that one's going on the list. And speaking of lists, so the whole point of this playlist or this podcast is about making playlists. It's the idea of getting musicians talking about music again. No chicken wing eating competitions, no weird other YouTube style shows. I want, musicians to talk about music and the music that shaped them. So when it comes to playlists, depending on somebody's age, it might be CD mixtapes, it might be actual cassette tapes they did, it might be making stuff on streaming platforms. When was the last time that you, Jay, made somebody or yourself a playlist, a mixtape, a mix CD, anything like that?
Oh my god. I do like I have a bit of a cardinal sin that I'm sure is gonna make people be upset, but I don't have playlists on my Spotify. I have a liked list that I shuffle through, and there's like a couple thousand songs on there,
Mm,
uh, including like all sorts of sweet 90s dance hits.
nice.
Because I never know what mood I'm gonna be in, and sometimes you think you don't wanna hear a song, and then it comes on and changes your whole fucking day. Rhythm as a Dancer pulled me out of a funk on the way to work
Ooh,
today.
nice.
So so yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people are not like me. I do that, and then I have, like, my liked list, and then I have albums that I listen to because I love anything that I can digest as an album. I've been listening to, the first Third Eye Blind album lately,
Nice.
and,
Good
like,
pick.
those guys don't have a great, like they're not, like, named among these big bands and stuff. That album is so
So good.
well recorded and so good from front to back.
Yep.
If you don't like Semi Charmed Life, you skip it. That's fine. You've heard it a billion times. That's fine. But people sleep on that album. It is incredible. So, anyway, sorry. I don't. Oh, when's the last time I made a playlist? I'm so sorry, man. I've been very long winded.
It's all good.
Um, when I was a child, I used to I used to burn CDs that I would call Jay's Nifty Tunes. I'm being vulnerable now telling you about this because
Nice.
it's really fucking lame. But and it was just like anything that I was dying to hear that I couldn't hear on the radio. So it was like a lot of pop punk and a lot of Blink 182 stuff and Ginny Eat World at the time, and
Nice.
yeah, all that fun stuff, and like Saves the Day. I remember being into a lot.
Warp Tour
Not all my
core.
no, yes, not all my proudest moments of musical taste. And that's no offense to anybody that likes those bands. It's just I'm not throwing on Saves the Day anymore when I get in the car. That's
Yeah.
just me. Yeah, so it's been forever since I've made a mixed album that wasn't just my playlist on shuffle.
Nice. Well, we're gonna make one today. I got
Holy
60 or
shit, I can't
so
believe
song superlatives in my trusty David Bowie hat. And I'm going to pull
awesome.
them out one by one, and you're going to give me whatever the first song that comes to mind. If you have to Google it, if you have to check your Spotify playlist for the actual name of the
Okay.
artist, whatever, we got time. We can do stuff like that. But Jay, we're going to start with a song by a band you never got to see live.
Oh my god. Um, one of my biggest regrets, the first one that came to mind, I never got to see Tragically Hip live,
Oh, I'm right
which
there with
is
you.
which I feel like I missed out on, like, being Canadian essentially because I've never seen them.
Yep.
Um, and again, then now I'm trying to narrow it down to a song. Um, I'm a huge like, I love Lil Bones, such a cool two-part guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I'd probably go with that, I guess.
All right. Let's go with Little Bones. That's a good way
Yeah,
to start off the
yeah, Lil
playlist.
Bones Lil Bones is good. That's a great guitar intro.
It really is. It's so iconic and so immediately hooks you in. And it's so simple too. It's like one of those ones that's like, I wish I came up with that one. Come on.
I know. Come
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
Let's go track 2. I need a song featuring your favorite singer or vocal performance.
Holy shit. Okay, so do you know who Duran Bernard is?
Not off the top of my head. No.
So he's like actually a newer artist.
Okay.
He did a Tiny Desk performance.
Okay.
It is, for my dollar, the best live performance I have ever heard any
Really?
vocalist do. Guy playing drums is the guy playing bass. Every musician there the 3 backup singers he has will blow your fucking mind. I can't. That's the first thing that came to mind as far as a good vocal. I can't recommend it enough, man.
Yeah.
Duran Bernard, Tiny Desk. Listen to that. It will blow your fucking socks off. It is so good on every instrument.
Do you have a specific
The guy's
song in mind from it?
Oh shit. Let me make sure I got the title right. I just know the lyric, "Have you put something on your stomach?" And I think that's what it might be called, but I don't want to claim that that's right.
Yeah.
It's called Sam's Vibe. That's what it's called.
Sam's
There you go.
Vibe.
I knew I was wrong. But yeah, he doesn't say those words in the song, so why would I have known that? Anyway, yeah, that song is incredible. Um, yeah, and the guy hits like whistle notes that you would never believe a man
Really?
could hit. He also has this unbelievable, like really deep, soulful voice in spots. He finds a way to like organically work those into songs and not sound like like just listen to me flex the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like I could talk about the performance forever. It's probably one of my all time. Like I've never seen somebody play that well.
All right, it's
Anyway.
going in the YouTube. It's going in the watch later. That's for sure. After they finish this podcast, track 3, Jay. We're looking for your favorite love song.
Well, me and my wife's first song we danced to, our wedding song, is "I" by Smashing Pumpkins.
Okay.
That's "I" spelt like an eyeball.
Yep.
Which I think it's a pretty sexy song personally. So we'll go with that. That's a love song for me, and it's also featured in the movie Lost Highway, which is an incredible movie. I also highly recommend that if you've never seen it.
I
Well,
don't
we're
think I
recommending
have.
things.
I haven't. I've
So
been slacking on the movies as of late. Is that an older one or newer movie?
It is 90s. That's what I want to say. It's David Lynch.
Okay, that's probably why.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
I slack on Lynch's catalog outside of, obviously I've watched Twin Peaks front to back, and I think I've seen a few of his movies, but like, like the TV edits. It's like I almost don't count it when it's when it's a TV edit. It's like it's not the
Blue
same.
Velvet. Blue Velvet's like top tier for me. Lost Highway. If you dig that at all, like I feel like it's a pretty accessible movie of his.
Yeah.
Lost Highway's amazing, and Mulholland Drive are like just
Mulholland
so
Drive
damn
is the
good.
one that I've seen on TV, but I don't remember where or when I watched it and for what reason. But I remember watching Mulholland Drive, and I'm like, "This is Lynch. This should be good." And then it's like every 5 seconds, I'm getting a Tide commercial, and I'm like, "Maybe I should just rent this and figure out a different way to watch this."
I didn't get it at first.
Yeah,
the first time I watched it, I didn't know what was happening. I'm like, "Is this bad, or am I?" And like, not really tuned into what he was doing for the first half of the movie. That it's like not all as it seems, kind of thing. Like, I at very first I was like, I don't know what's happening, and is this bad? And then I once you get to the end, I'm like, oh, everything at the beginning was actually really cool and different, and like pretty like bold of him to try to do that at the beginning. But I did again the very first time watching it, I was like.
And chopped up with, like, you can imagine, like, chopping that up with, like, commercial breaks or whatever. And whatever they would have had to edit out of that to make it airable.
Yeah.
Like, it definitely...
there's some, like, graphic love scenes in that, movie.
Exactly, right? So you cut out, half of those. It doesn't necessarily always make sense. It's like, that seems like a really aggressive jump. How did that... But
I went and watched the PAC Center put on... Or not PAC Center, sorry.
the NAC, the Niagara. Yep.
They put on a thing where they played the first episode of Twin Peaks from VHS that Brock had, I guess, on hand. And it's the first time it aired on Canadian television. So it has all when they first put it on, it was America's Funniest Home Videos, like the tail end of an episode. And then it had the episode with all the commercials where like they like find Laura Palmer and it's like really sad. And then all of a sudden it just like cuts. And it, like you said, it's like a Tide commercial all of a sudden with the cheesiest song you ever heard. Because 90s commercials are not even like they're even more ridiculous than now. So it really pulls you out of it. But
I like it. I feel like I'm gonna have some movies to watch. I'm gonna have some books to read. I feel like at the end of this episode,
sorry, man.
No, this is good homework. This is just making me expand my palette, which is part of the reason I do this show. Because there's a lot of bands and artists that I still haven't listened to that I get told about through these playlists. So it's awesome. All right, we are moving on to a guilty pleasure song, or a song that people wouldn't expect you to love. I know not everybody believes in guilty pleasures when it comes to music, so I kind of have to say, like, maybe it's a song that when you're like thinking about real Kevin's music, you'd be like, that guy likes that band or that song or that whatever. But you already talked about
I'll give you
90s dance music.
I'll give you two.
Okay.
They're both. I don't feel guilty. I feel like they've been at the top of my Wrapped list more than once. Baltimora, Tarzan Boy.
Okay.
The song has a hook that I can't stop singing when I hear it once. It's featured in Ninja Turtles 3 as well as Beverly Hills Ninja. I loved ninja movies when I was younger. Anything
Nice.
that had and I'm a huge Chris Farley fan, so Beverly Hills Ninja. It's in both of those movies. Dynamite song, blow your socks off. And then another one would be S Club 7 Party.
Ooh, nice.
You know the one? Ain't no party like an S Club Party.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've listened to that song way more than I probably should have, but
which one do you want to go on the playlist? Which one you got to pick?
I'm so sorry.
Pick one.
I feel like Tarzan Boy is more my speed.
All right, let's nail that one down.
Another one I made sure was played at my wedding. I was like, that's a must play.
Nice. All right, let's go to track 5. We are going to be looking for a song from an international artist, so outside of North America for this one.
Shit. That would be my Baltimore's Tarzan Boy. That's an Italian guy who can't speak English, and he learned all the words phonetically. That would have been a good answer.
That would have been a good answer for that one.
It's a two for international artist, eh? Outside of Canada. You know
outside
what?
of North America. Even if you want to, let's
North
go
America.
Let's go out of the States too.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Troglodyte by Viagra Boys.
Nice pick.
I had the chance to see those guys when they came through Toronto last year. At the heck is that? History.
Yep.
Man, they're good. They're so damn good live. They blew my socks off. That new album of theirs is so good. Yeah, huge fan of theirs. I could have gone niche and picked like Waterboy or something like that, but I feel like Troglodyte is like that's your access point for that band. You hear that song?
Yeah,
it's got like a Devo thing going on, and it's like, oh, so good, so good. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, I agree.
I keep being so long-winded. I can't help
myself.
That's fine.
I'm sorry. No, don't worry about it. I never apologize for being passionate about the songs and about the music, man. Let's go with a song for a rainy day.
Rainy day song. That is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
What would I put on if it's raining? Honestly, like if I'm feeling sad, probably put on like a Mazzy Star tune. Ooh, actually, you know what? I just found out about. Have you ever heard of Grant Lee Buffalo?
Yes.
So I did not know that band until very recently. Their tune "Fuzzy" is a fantastic rain song. It's kind of a bummer, but in a great way. It's super, super catchy. I'm gonna go with that instead of Mazzy Star is great. People know that already. I didn't know about Grant Lee Buffalo, so I feel like they need the love.
Let's go with that one. It's funny, since you're a replacements guy, I'll say it. For my answer for that question is always Unsatisfied. That to me is a rainy day perfect song. Like if you're longingly staring out the window and that comes on. I'm trying to find stuff.
That's a great pick, man. I'm digging too deep, like, and trying to be like, what else? I haven't named a single replacements tune, and they're like, gotta be probably my favorite band. So
they're coming up. I'll pull something here, and it'll be a perfect opportunity to pick the replacements. We'll see what we get next. Won't be for this one, but a song from your favorite British band.
Who do I like that's British? Lots of them. I grew up like a really, really big Beatles and Pink Floyd fan, which I know is like a lot of people are like, that's not the rock and roll answer. People are Stones and Zeppelin over Beatles, Pink Floyd. But I've been the other way always. I can't help it. So I'm gonna, but I love Bowie too.
Damn. Feel you on that.
You know what? It's that Let's Dance album. That's one of those like front to backers where it's like so damn good.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you're killing me. That one really, you're really killing me with this one.
There's almost too many options for it.
I'm gonna do Criminal World by David Bowie.
Like it. Bit of a deeper cut too.
Bit of a deeper cut, I know, but I started, and there's one episode I started a video, uh oh my god, like playlist
Yep.
where I record me playing my favorite bass lines. That's the only song I've done, and I started it like I started it months ago, and I was like, yeah, I'll do these all the time. And
Yeah.
I played that song, and then I was like, all right, people get it.
Content creation is so hard to
Yeah.
keep up with. Like, I'm trying to do like a record every day right now, and like that's kind of what I've been pushing was like, going through my vinyl collection, and I got so many records that part of it too was that I'm just not listening to enough of my collection, and I'm like, okay, like what's gonna motivate me to listen and like actually spend time with the collection that I've amassed over how many years now, like. And I was like, oh, I'll just post about it on TikTok every day. And then maybe like something will blow up and whatever. And then everybody will find Green White Checkered in this playlist podcast and all this, and then hasn't happened just yet, but we'll see. We got to keep putting the record in.
I'm bad for I find I put so much time into like cataloging things. Like I'm like a huge I love watching movies and shows, and the amount of cataloging I do and like making sure I have uh legally purchased and downloaded content. I'm like obsessed with categorizing everything and being like, okay,
Yeah.
and then I'll watch these 80s action movies, and then and like it's so I spend more time doing that than I ever do watching the movies, which is a bummer. But
So are you a big like letterbox guy then?
no, which is ridiculous. I should be. That sounds right up my alley. Everything I've heard about, like I had it for a little bit even, and I was just like, I spent so much time like doing this and being like, ooh, and I gotta watch that one, and I gotta watch that one, and then it was like, cool. Now I have a list, and then nothing was getting done. So yeah, I tried to kind of pull it away from myself.
Yeah, I feel you because I did the exact same thing where I was like, oh, I'm going to list off all the movies I haven't seen. Like I'm going through like AFI top 100. I'm like, oh, I haven't seen that yet. Oh, I can watch it on this streaming service. I have access to it for free for 30 days. Okay, I'm going to watch it. And you don't watch it. And yeah, I'm right there with you. The list making gets in the way.
It's like I haven't like sat down and like paid attention all the way through Citizen Kane, but I did watch Sudden Death the other day, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah,
where that's Die Hard, but at Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. I don't know if you've seen that movie, but I can't recommend it enough because it was a blast. Yeah, and I don't know if people have that much fun watching Citizen Kane. I'm sure it's great, but
I'm sure it's a real thinker by the time it's all over. But you're never going to have to think about a Jean-Claude Van Damme film. You can just watch it and enjoy it.
When he fights the mascot, he plays goalie in the game at one point. Yeah. Oh my God, it's so good.
It's perfect. All right. So we went from just a couple songs ago.
Child dies in his arms in the first scene. Sorry.
Oh, yes, that's right. I forgot about that. How it starts.
No, what movies do that? Do you know how bold that is to be like, hey, and then in the first scene, a child dies. What
tragedy
are you doing?
From the beginning.
Yeah. Face Off did it too. Yeah. Seems to be a thing about great movies.
So we went from doing.
I'm so sorry.
It's fine, dude. I like it.
I'm derailing everything here. I apologize. This is not a movie podcast. I'm so sorry.
We can do it. You know what? Maybe that's like going to be season 3. I'll have to do like a movie playlist or something.
Yeah. Next. Yeah, let's make a movie playlist. Dude, I would be a guest on that anytime too. I know that's veering towards the chicken wing thing where you're like, I want to talk music, so I apologize, but
you're good.
We'll stick music. Yes.
We just talked a little bit about rainy day songs. Now we've drawn a song for a sunny day. So you got something that comes to your mind for that?
You're killing me, man. Wouldn't it be nice? I love the Beach Boys, man. That Pet Sounds album is so good. I know, again, Wouldn't It Be Nice is kind of right. Sloop John B's Dynamite too. Yeah, and like God Only Knows is incredible. That I can't believe that wasn't my love song.
See, that's what happens with this show.
Options, man.
So many people will message me after they finish the episode, and they're like, "Man, I should have said that. I missed that." But that's the fun of it for me as a host. Is it's all about what is that thing that first comes to mind? Because generally, whatever comes to your mind first is the thing that you should go with. Even if you come up with an answer that's better or whatever.
Me now, and now I'm thinking like, ooh, Sunday Morning by Velvet Underground. So such a great sun song. Like or Who Loves the Sun, actually.
Yep.
I do play that on sunny days a lot.
Yeah. See,
because it's a little, it's ironic and that's fun.
All right, we are on to track 9. We're rolling through this pretty good.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'll be long more. I'll speak longer each time.
Yeah, I need you to fill more time on the clock.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Here's a chance to maybe shout out somebody local, or maybe shout out somebody that's pretty influential to you. It's a song from your favorite Ontario band.
Ooh, favorite Ontario band song. Shit. Well, I'll be honest, man. Like, I was a pretty big Alexis fan back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be really hard for me to not go with one of their tunes.
Which one?
Yeah, that's tough, man. Those first 2 albums are like burned into my brain, top to bottom. Polaroids of Polar Bears by Alexis on Fire.
Nice. Good pick.
Oh, I maybe should have said Kennedy Curse. That's okay.
No, I like it. I mean, Alexis for me was one of those bands that I came to a little bit later because I remember I have a weird fever dream of watching the video for Pulmonary Archery late at night, and everyone has convinced me that it was on the Punk Show and not on something else. But for whatever reason, I have this fever dream of watching a show on, I think, Teletoon, where there was like cartoons that they would cut into or in between music videos. So I probably was just channel surfing late at night and flip between the two.
Sounds like Beavis and Butthead, but that's there's no way Alexis on Fire was on that. The timeline doesn't mesh.
Exactly, right. So it's not that. It almost felt like one of those like one of those like college cartoons, right? That like I can't remember any of the names of the ones that would like air on like Teletoon at night, but like those like shows that were like set in colleges, and it'd be really weird animation. It'd be like maybe low budget. Everyone was like, "Oh, like were you talking about like Sons of Butcher?" I'm like, "No, it's not that." And then I don't know. I've never been able to track it down. No, I think I made it up in my head, but I just remember watching Pulmonary Archery, and I was like, "Why is this guy screaming? Why is he yelling at me? This is actually almost kind of scary." And then I turned 15 and I was like, "Oh, I get it."
Yeah. Honestly, it was like, yeah, this is scary. And it's like, whoa. And then becomes like oh, that's actually what's so cool about it.
Yeah.
Is that's happening, is like that it can elicit that reaction.
Yeah.
It's dynamite.
Yeah.
They performed it live also. Do you remember the Mike Bullard show?
Yes.
Maybe the least funny guy of all time.
Yeah.
Canadian Jay Leno.
Yep.
Yeah, that guy sucked so hard. But anyway, but they performed Pulmonary Archery on his show, actually. And it was so fucking cool to see a band from St. Catharines playing screamo music and getting that kind of recognition, and like getting to do that on TV was that's I mean, so I guess I'll give him credit for that. Not that I'm sure he didn't book them, but still.
Yeah. Yeah, I do remember I remember screamo being a huge thing. It's like in the wake of Alexis, everybody wanted to be Alexis around the Niagara scene, at least when I was younger. And I mean,
I
like
was
you
in a
said,
band.
you were in a band like that, right?
We were called Chemical Fire and You Alive. Fuck. So
Okay.
you've noticed. So if you noticed, we haven't gotten any better at naming bands, because Real Kevin is a terrible band name, but it's stuck, man. And no one else had it. I don't have to tell anybody how to spell it. There's like a couple boxes it checked for us. We were called the Steves for a long time.
I think I remember you telling me that before we played, when we were chatting like during sound check. And because I think maybe my drummer asked, it's like, "Well, which one of you guys is Kevin?" And then it's like, "Oh, there's no Kevin in the band."
Dude, I'm terrified that people think I'm Kevin, because that would be such a douchey thing for me to do, is be like, "I'm Kevin, and my band, Real Kevin," is like, fuck. The only thing worse than being in a band in the first place, we know it's an ego thing a little bit, where it's like, "Oh, you like music? You'll love what I wrote." It's a little much.
Yeah.
To then call the band Real Kevin and I'm Kevin is so fucking ego heavy. I can't stand. I was worried more that people would think we were a white rapper, and then it turns out people think I'm Kevin, and that's way worse. I don't love that. But yeah, we were called the Steves because we had a friend whose nickname was Steves. His last name was Stevens. We called him Steves, and I thought it would be funny to call the band that. That was it. But then we got double booked on a bill with the Steves from Canada at
That's so
Horseshoe.
weird.
And so we were literally, I told everyone, like, we're playing Horseshoe, you got to come out. And like 2 days before, they reached out and were like, I think we might have double booked you with this other Steve's band who are from like Winnipeg. So you're not playing, we'll give you a different gig, but you're not playing that one.
Yeah.
So, which thankfully didn't happen when we got there, but it made us go like, we got to change the band name. And then I remembered there was like, there were 2 Kevins in high school, and one was like I feel bad because I hope it never gets back to this person because I'm sure they're a nice man. But in high school, the guy was like a pretty huge douche. And instead of like calling him like Lame Kevin or something, we just called the other Kevin Real Kevin. uh, and which again, that sounds so like so cheesy and not cool now as an adult man. I'm like, God, we did that. Like, that's not cool. But I thought that would be a funny way to change our band name because I didn't want to be the Real Steves. And I was like, let's just be Real Kevin. And the only thing on the internet was that there was a guy named Kevin on The Real World at one point. So that was like, that's all we have to compete with. Like, we're going to smoke that guy off the page 1 of Google. So,
yeah.
And I'm fucking proud to say we did it.
Nice.
He's gone.
Mission
just
accomplished.
Our band. If you Google Real Kevin, you don't have to write music. You don't have to write band. It's just us.
Nice.
Now that very well may be because I'm searching and my IP address is in Ontario, but still, I'm taking it as a win.
That's what I say about Green White Checker because lately it's like been the thing that comes up. I'm like, see, it's coming up before the whole like motorsports reference that I came up with afterwards. So
yeah.
we're
that's
good.
A win, man.
That's a win.
That's a win. That's all you need when you get
SEO
that.
SEO is so like, important.
Yeah, that's it, dude. You're there. You made it.
Yeah. All right, back to the playlist, and it's your favorite acoustic track.
Oh God, I'm so sorry, dude.
You're fine,
I'm gonna say the first thing came to my mind, 13 by Big Star. I don't know if you know those guys at all.
Yep.
Alex Chilton. He's so cool. I was exposed to them because of the Replacements. They have a great song called Alex Chilton. And I guess that 70s show also features a Big Star song, but Big Star is really cool and really good.
Yeah.
So hopefully people listen to it. 13's not my favorite tune of theirs, but it's a dynamite acoustic song. Very, very good.
Yeah, I agree. I'm right there with you on it. And same thing for me. From being a Replacements fan, I was like, oh, I got to listen to Big Star. And there's actually another podcast shout out called Bandsplain where they do deep dives on specific artists. And that was another episode that I listened to and got into, was listening to the Big Star episode. I was like, oh, cool. This is like their entire career summed up in like 2-3 hours. It's perfect. Now I know everything about Big Star that I need to know.
So cool, man. And how brazen to name your album #1 record.
Yeah, I know, right? It's almost as brazen as naming your album Let It Be like 20 years after the actual Let It Be comes out.
Dude, that album is so good.
So good.
It might be better than the Beatles' Let It Be. It might. I know which one I would pick.
Say it was.
Because there are other Beatles records I like more than Let It Be, right? And I mean, I'm a huge Tim fan as well from the Replacements, but Let It Be is like iconic. It's so good. I don't know that there's a skippable track. It's so damn good.
So good.
I don't love covers on an album usually, but even that, man, Black Diamond, the Kiss song Black Diamond is maybe the best Kiss song.
Yeah.
Peter Criss, fucking unreal vocals. I don't know why they didn't let that guy sing more. I guess because he drank too much.
Probably.
Was the consensus. If you've ever watched him sing Beth live, it's a fucking nightmare and a train wreck. But anyway, I digress. That album is so damn good. Yeah. And you might see it later if you ask me what my Desert Island albums are.
Oh, we're gonna get to that.
You might hear Let It Be. I don't want to jump the gun here, but
yeah, I feel like it's coming. I feel like it's coming down the line here. A favorite song to work out to?
Dude, you're hitting me with like the first thing that comes to my mind instead of like a cool long-term response. So nothing's going to be well thought out here, so I apologize. But I actually have a walking treadmill at my desk at work. I have a standing desk.
Oh, nice.
A walking treadmill. So I walk with my AirPods in while I do things on the computer. And over the last little bit, man, that Chapel Roan album.
Oh, okay.
It's so good. I listened to it a couple tunes. we kept getting requested Pink Pony Club and stuff like that when we play cover gigs, and I was like I gotta listen to this song, great, I gotta learn this, and I kind of assumed it was gonna end up being another like Wagon Wheel or something along those lines, and I listened to it and I was like, all right, like this is pretty good, and then I listened to it again, and then I listened to Good Luck Babe, and then I listened to, and I was like, and I know that one's not on the album, but I ended up sitting and listening to the rest of that album. And I was like, "You gotta be kidding me!" Like the hooks in that on that album, that Red Wine Supernova song. We play that. People don't even request it, but we play that now because it's so good. The song After Midnight has one of the coolest bass lines I've ever heard, and the hooks. Literally the verse is a hook, then the pre-chorus is a hook, then the chorus, and I'm like, I can't get away from it. Anyways, listening to those tunes while I walk. It gets me in a headspace. And you gave me one answer. I'm gonna go After Midnight, Chapel Roan.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Again, I keep
no, that's
stretching
good.
everything out.
That's what we want. We want discussion on it, man. That's what we want. That's what we're all here for.
Explain podcast again.
Bandsplaining, yes. Yasi.
I feel like I'm doing that.
She likes to get going with her guests. I highly recommend it, but you do have to sit with it for like I'm pretty sure the Replacements episode is 2 parts, and both parts are like 2.5 hours.
Oh, that sounds like heaven.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I listen to a lot of movie podcasts, unfortunately. So like that is I like a long movie podcast usually. Band would be just as good, I think, listening to about a band. Yeah. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say that I'm pretty sure the episode on the Replacements has the guy that wrote their biography too. Is it Bob Muir?
That's Trouble Boys, right? His name.
Yeah, I think the author of Trouble Boys is who did the podcast with her too. So if I'm not mistaken,
I've never read that, and I can't believe it. I'm Bob Muir.
Yeah.
Have you read that?
I have not read it yet myself. Again,
okay.
I have to say that I'm a bad reader. I am a guy who will start a book and then put it down and then not pick it up for 6 months. Like, I started reading the original Jurassic Park around the time that the Jurassic World movie came out last year.
I just bought that for a friend. Literally yesterday.
I'm still reading it. I pick it up, read it for like 50 pages, and then I'll put it down, and then I won't touch it again for like 6 months. But I'm trying to get better at it because I've got actually a good collection of books piled up here as well that I have not gotten to. So I've got to get better.
I found I did that. I did that with Naked Lunch. I read the first chapter, I think, 30 times, and I would never jump off. I would never pick it up the next day or anything, and so I just would forget, and then I'd start it again until I literally just last summer I read Slaughterhouse-Five, which I know is like a high school thing, but I thought that was pretty good and it was easy. So naturally, the next thing I tried to read was Infinite Jest. I don't know if you've heard of this book, but it's 1,000 pages and it's like incredibly dense, and there's an appendix and all sorts. Anyways, so I bought that book like 6 months ago. I am just now, as of today, I have like 50 pages left. That's how
good for you. You got there.
I will complete it. I have to complete it. But I mean, most people are like, oh, I read a couple books a month, and it's like, no, it's taking me forever.
Yeah.
But hey,
do you feel like it helps your writing?
Yes. So, something actually that I didn't bring up when we were talking about writing. The way I've written, especially this most recent album, is like exclusively this. I write lyrics by a lot of the time, especially lately. I find the script for a movie I like, and then I dig in, and we're so weird. Everything's connecting now. Everything's connecting. Living and Dying in Utah, the song that I submitted to the Handpicked Hits, and is like going to be our first single off of Tournament. It's actually the plot of it is taken directly from the script of Lost Highway.
Oh, okay. There
by
you go.
David Lynch, where he's in spoiler, but he's in jail at one point, and these two people are having a conversation about him, the prisoner, and are talking about how he's claiming that in Utah, like, you get to choose whether you die by hanging or get shot. And I was like, that's such a weird thing to overhear them talking about in a movie that's not about them at all.
Yeah.
And it literally just started to unravel everything. And I was just taking little excerpts of what they were saying and then rhyming it and cutting it out, moving it around. And honestly, amount that I found, like, I found it so rewarding when I was done that I was like, this is such a cool way of getting to, like, insert my love of movies into the songs. So, like, it's literally any song, any movie I like, I'm like, "What's the script? Do they have anything cool? Is there a cool line I
Yeah.
can kind of
Jump
take and
off from.
rework?"
Yeah.
Yeah, man, so that's been, like, my go-to lately is all of my
Interesting.
lyrics are pulled from, like, it's at least a line or 2 is almost verbatim what someone says in a movie I like. So,
Nice. I like that. And it's
yeah.
like now it's a thing too for your listeners. They can be like, go spot the reference, right? For some songs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
All right. Final song to round out your 12 song playlist. We are going with a song from your favorite American band. I feel like I teed you up there for the Replacements.
Yeah, you definitely did. I feel like we talked about them a lot, though, and I haven't really gotten to get my love across of other bands.
That's fair too. That's fair too. And the Desert Island Records is coming up, so that's fair.
Man, you're killing me. There's so many good bands.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, um, I mean, you mentioned Seattle earlier, and I'd probably be remiss to not go with like a Nirvana tune even. But then it's like, how do you nail that one down? And I
Yeah,
love
that's fair.
Love Buzz, but that's not even by them, man.
Nice.
Fuck, you're killing me.
It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, you know what? Let's do a replacement song. I'm gonna go out of the spirit of your podcast and the spirit of community and local bands. I'm gonna go Left of the Dial by the
Fantastic
Replacements.
pick. Fantastic pick. I think that might. I think that's my favorite Replacement song again, just because like being a guy in an indie band who likes alternative music, who loves
Just a
college
love letter to
radio.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, like everything, being a radio host, like it feels like every aspect of my life is reflected in that particular song.
Yeah.
So, Left of the
It's right up
Dial,
your alley, man. So good.
it's tough to beat that as a favorite song. I mean, I really like Aching to Be. That one's up there for me.
Oh yeah.
It's like Paul Westerberg.
16 Blue is another like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They just kill me, man. You honestly, and I'm never going to, far be it for me to tell you how to run your show. I do think you could ask a song that makes you cry or that you would cry to, because I feel like that's maybe opens up some spicy answers.
I feel like
The
that's
sad
in
one's
there.
probably that, eh?
I think there's one in there. That's a good one. I am going to take note of that if I don't have it and maybe add it, because I always wanted to add to the list too, because like there's 60. So generally everybody gets a pretty different playlist in terms of like who they're talking to.
Oh,
Like I
okay.
just had,
I didn't know. Okay.
yeah, everybody gets a little bit different. So because it's completely random, like I had a guest on the last episode I just recorded. They had favorite drummer, favorite bass player come up, favorite guitarist, and favorite guitar solo were like 4 of the questions that
Holy
came up.
shit.
So like,
Okay.
so like
That's so
theirs
cool,
was
man.
like very focused on like instrumentalists and like
Yeah.
the people that play on their favorite songs, right? So it's really random to what you might get and what you. I think every playlist is going to end up very, very different, but yours ended in a great
That's
way for
super
me
cool,
personally.
man.
So
Cool, dude.
all right, let's run
honestly,
it back.
man, I can't wait to listen to more episodes, dude. Like, this is such a great idea. I
yeah,
love
dude.
it.
We'd appreciate the support. Hopefully enjoy it. Like I say, season 1's out. Season 2 is going to drop. I don't know officially while we're talking about this when I'm dropping it, but it should be out sooner rather than later. So, but yeah, let's run through the playlist here because you've made it through the gauntlet. It opens with The Hip, Little Bones. You got Sam's Vibe as track 2, I Smashing Pumpkins 3, Tarzan Boy as your track 4, your guilty pleasure song, Troglodyte, Viagra Boys at number 5, Fuzzy, Grantley, Buffalo, Criminal World, Bowie, bit of a deep cut like that. Wouldn't It Be Nice, Beach Boys, Polaroids of Polar Bears, Alexis on Fire, 13, Big Star, After Midnight, Chapel Roan, and Left of the Dial, The Replacements. That's a pretty fun playlist, I gotta say.
That's a weird list.
Well, you said that you like to get a shuffle going, and you never know when you feel
It's
like
true.
you want a
That's
certain
what it's
genre.
like.
So
That
this
is
playlist
exactly
is
what
right
it's
up
like.
there. That's
Absolutely.
perfect for it.
Yeah, man, that reads like a serial killer a little though. Like, if it turned out I was one, that if the news, it would be one of those things like where they weren't like, you know, oh, you never
We
would have
should have
guessed he
known.
was so. Yeah. There were signs.
There were
Yeah. Oh
signs.
God. Okay. Well, yeah. Honestly, man, you let me learn something about myself today, so I appreciate that.
Nice. All right, we're gonna end off the podcast with the Desert Island Records pick. So 5 albums, 5. You're stuck on a desert island for a little while. Somehow you were allowed to bring a record player that is functioning. You have access to electricity, and you can listen to these albums. So what are the 5 that you're bringing with you?
Oh, I can't believe you do this to me. It makes it so hard. So I have to do a little of what I did when you told me that was going to happen. Because man, it's so hard to come up with your 5. I remember during COVID, everybody was doing the 10 albums.
Yeah.
And I had a tough time doing that. And I had cheated and made a collage that was like another like 30 albums that I was like, these are the ones that almost made the cut. Because
The honorable mentions.
right? Like, fuck.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Anyway, so I did start jotting stuff down while we were talking, and as I was naming other songs and shit, that I was like, oh, that would be on there. So I'm a pretty huge '90s Weezer fan. I know that's like so lame to say, to be like, nah, I don't like their new stuff. They used to be cool. I just am in love. The Blue Album and Pinkerton are so damn good. And Pinkerton specifically has a special place in my heart because it has that Steve Albini Live Off the Floor.
Yeah.
I feel like it's more of a snapshot of exactly what they would have sounded like to see them at the time, which I have kind of become obsessed with. And like that album is so good. All the B-sides from that era. There's a song called "You Gave Your Love to Me Softly" that appears on the soundtrack for the movie Angus.
Nice.
And it is one of the best Weezer songs, and you cannot find it anywhere else. It's so good. It's from that those recording sessions for Pinkerton. And Pinkerton is.
Can we talk about 90s soundtracks for a split second? Because like they were
the best.
off the chain. Like you mentioned Angus, I immediately go to the Green Day song that's on there. JR is amazing.
Yeah. Yep.
That's a
so
fantastic
good, yes.
song. And then, like just in general, some of the movies that came out that had like, have you ever looked at like, I don't know if you've seen the movie because it's kind of a weird movie, but Judgment Night. Have you ever seen that movie or seen the soundtrack to it? Okay.
No,
Google the soundtrack to Judgment Night sometime. They even do it right now. And look at some of the bands. I think it's like all collaborations.
Emilio.
It's Emilio Estevez. I think Jeremy Piven's in it. Stephen Dorff. I think Dennis Leary's in it. Yeah.
Cuba Gooding Jr. Really good stuff. All right.
Cast is good. Concept for the movie is a little bit weird, but the soundtrack is insane.
Okay. I'm going to dig in, man. I'm very excited. That's so cool.
I'm pretty sure it's like if I have it correctly in my head, it's like majority of the songs are 90s alt bands with rappers featured on the songs.
Holy shit. Yeah.
So it's
Teenage Fan Club with De La Soul. Come on.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, right? Like Dinosaur
Mudhoney
Jr.'s on there.
This is amazing.
Incredible.
Oh.
It's so weird, but that is
awesome.
What a weird soundtrack.
Very cool, man. I love that. Yeah, I love like it was like some of movies that I watch over and over again. Empire Records and Can't Hardly Wait are a couple of the like. That's how I heard Can't Hardly Wait the first time. Like I didn't know who the replacements were, but when I was a kid, I was like, "This is what high school is going to be like." And I was watching Can't Hardly Wait, and yeah, man, and yeah. So soundtracks for those are like like you said, 90 soundtracks, man. Nothing beats them.
So good. So good.
And while you're out there, listen to the soundtrack for Beverly Hills Ninja that features Tarzan Boy by Baltimore.
There you go. All right, what else are you bringing on the desert island? We got Pinkerton, Weezer. What else?
Jesus,
I know. I'm distracted. Now that was on me.
I'm so sorry. No, good. I would say Let It Be by the Replacements. That's a pretty. I was torn between that and Tim, but I'm like, Tim is the like. It's an amazing answer. I think I like how raw the recording of Let It Be is a little more than Tim. Tim is really good, but it does sound a little more polished, and I'm getting a little less. And also, you're getting a little less Bob Stinson.
Yes.
And I think he just added such a cool element to the band. Paul Westerberg is like maybe the greatest songwriter ever, in my opinion. That isn't a Beatle, and so like he does it. Don't get me wrong, he does it well on his own, and like that Pleased to Meet Me album is really cool still. But
yes,
Bob and Tommy and Chris Mars are all like so fucking crucial to their sound, man. and that album, I feel, again, and not to harp on it, but it feels like a time capsule, man. Like, you're hearing this band at the height of their powers. That's like in the famous SNL story of them showing up and there being too much time between rehearsal and performing, so
Yep.
they're shit hammered. Just great guys.
Just destroying
Just
the
really
studio.
good
It was
guys.
great.
Yeah. Then my next one would be I've got Doolittle by Pixies.
Nice.
I love Pixies, and again, where it's like that's the obvious answer, man. Like, they have got a lot of great albums. Like Surfer Rosa is incredible. That album is so damn good. But I just felt like Doolittle is like pretty unskippable. I don't know if there's a song that isn't good on that album. So, and it seems like the obvious answer. I also have In Utero by Nirvana. Again,
Nice.
leaning into the Nevermind's incredible. There's no skips on that album either.
Yep.
And I love Butch Vig. Don't get me wrong; he did an amazing job. And I hate to like play into Kurt Cobain's opinion of the album that it was too slick.
Yeah.
But they are kind of a garage band, and like so, Steve Albini recording In Utero for them and doing the job he did with it is
Yes.
like way more the spirit of the band, which is like it's not for everybody. And like I totally get how a lot of people would be like, no, Nevermind's better. I respect that opinion. But In Utero to me seems like they got to make the album they wanted to. That's the same reason I love Pinkerton so much. It
Yeah.
was like, okay, we did the one, and now because you love us, we have the money and the leeway. We got the leash with the studio. Check this shit out.
Yeah.
And I fucking love that, man. It's In Utero is so good. So
Yeah.
In Utero, I got Doolittle, I got Pinkerton. I did Let It Be already. I only got one left.
One left.
Holy shit.
I know it's tough.
Not to go all what's that Mojo? No, what's the list countdown?
Watch
YouTube?
Mojo. Yeah.
Watch Mojo. Not to go all Watch Mojo on you, but quick honorable mentions would be Pet Sounds and Let's Dance. Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys. That's what played the entire ceremony of my wedding. That album was playing. Thank God my wife is also a awesome music fan and very cool. So, and Let's Dance is again non-skipping. The playing on that, I'm a huge Chic fan. I fucking love Nile Rodgers. I don't know if you've gotten into him at all.
Yeah.
He produced that album and he plays on all the rhythm guitar on it. He's fucking incredible. And look him up if you don't know all the other stuff he's produced. The guy's a genius. Anyway, the last one. It's got to be a Beatles one because I'm a huge Beatles fan. And it's Revolver. I fucking love this album. It is so damn good. I have a like full Revolver tattoo on my arm. It is all four of their faces.
Nice.
Yeah, man. I'm a sucker for the Beatles.
I feel like it's hard for me to narrow in on an album because like my go-to's always been. I think Abbey Road is probably my favorite personally. Just because I think like some of the like they all have like I feel like every like post 1965 Beatles record has some elements of psychedelia, but like She's So Heavy, like that's just such a like gold standard psychedelic rock track, and like
it's incredible.
It's like whatever the Beatles set out to do, like whatever was the hip thing or whatever they thought another band did that was cool, whenever they went out to do their thing, they just did it better. Like they really did. Like
yeah, man, I couldn't agree more.
Crazy.
I was hard not to pick Magical Mystery Tour because it's literally like every song is incredible on that album. Like and you can hear John Lennon and Paul McCartney like one-upping each other with the like Penny Lane and Strawberry Fields are like both so damn good. And like and then the I Am the Walrus is on, and Hello Goodbye. Like, and it's just like back and forth of these incredible songs that it's like you could have written just one of those and been like, and I'll dine on that for the rest of my life.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're just all like I think that album's incredible, but it's almost I didn't pick it because it's almost too good. There's like it's almost too many just like banger after banger.
It's like not realistic.
Yeah, and like Blue Jay Way was whatever. Your Mother Should Know is I have a soft spot for that song as well. It's great, but I felt like Revolver as an album like takes you on a bit of a journey. Rubber Soul kind of like laid the groundwork for Revolver as well, which was so cool that it was kind of, and not to mention the like the one-upsmanship that was happening between those albums and Pet Sounds. being dropped between them is like these bands like being like, I see what you did there. Now check this shit out too. And like they were like such fans of each other, and like I just think it's so fucking cool, man. Like that, what a time. We haven't really had anything near that. I mean, I hate to be one of those fucking old men yelling at a cloud situations, but like I just don't find, like, I'm sorry, but those 3 albums, I don't find when I listen to you know, Kendrick Lamar and Drake diss tracks to each other, I'm not feeling the same thing that I felt when I listened, and I wasn't even alive for that shit, and it was still like, it's just like, I don't know, it's just so cool. I don't, by the way, that's not to bash Kendrick Lamar or Drake. I'm just saying, I'm just using them as an
You got
example
loyal
of like,
fan bases. You got to be careful of which ones you piss off. Right?
but I meant in terms of one-upsmanship. I felt it a little more with the Beatles and the Beach Boys.
Yes.
And for that matter, I felt it a lot more with Tupac and Biggie, but I won't get into the rap with you because, man, it was hard not to put All Eyes on Me or Ready to Die on, because I fucking am obsessed with both of those albums. I also love The Chronic by Dr. Dre. I don't know how much of a rap fan you are, but
90s rap's up my alley. Like I
holy
generally
shit,
gravitate.
it's so good.
Yeah, I gravitate towards that more than a lot of new stuff. Like
Same.
here and there,
Yep.
like To Pimp a Butterfly was like I couldn't
Very
not
good.
get into that record.
Yep.
Like it was so
It was
well
real
done.
rap again. I was like, this guy's doing it right. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
dude,
and
it's
all
so
the
good.
jazz samples and all the funk samples on it. Like it just, that's what it was supposed to be in my brain. You know, when I go back to like Mobb Deep and I go back to stuff from that era, I'm like, okay, that feels like we're past like the rapidy rap of like the 80s where there's some innocence to like
Curtis Blow.
Yeah. there's some,
and
there's
I want
some
you to know that these are the Braves.
These are yeah.
So good, man.
The street reporting is just like, it's so good on that sort of stuff. And then it
all reminds me of, did you see that SNL sketch where where Andy Samberg is Blizzard Man?
Yes.
They all sound like rap song. Like it all has like such a like weird sing-songy way that sorry, man, I didn't mean to cut you off with that.
No, that's
stupid
good.
reference, but
no, that's a great reference. I'm glad you pulled that one up. That's so perfect. All right, dude. This has been a blast. I've had so much fun chatting with you, and I love the playlist.
Thank you for doing this, dude. For real. Like it is so important to have programs like this that like make the scene and what it is. Like that's not even to go with what your band is doing, but like that you're doing like a radio show like this. It's so fucking cool, and I can't tell you how much fun I had chatting with you. Like legit, anytime if you're struggling, you need a guest, I'm down. We don't have to talk about music. We'll talk about anything you want to, dude.
Hell
like,
yeah.
You and not that you would ever struggle to have a guest. I'm sure it's very easy to get. There's lots of fucking great people, but man, I had such a good time talking to you, dude.
Yeah, it was awesome. And we'll definitely get the bands going again together, get a show going together somewhere in Niagara. That'd be blast. But
absolutely.
Tell us where we keep up with Real Kevin. Tell us where you keep up with yourself. How do we support you guys and what you guys got going on? Tell the world right now one more time.
RealKevinTheBand.com has all of our, we still pay for .com domain. Really cool. And it's got our link tree in there and everything that has like, we're on Spotify and all the other stuff. And we're making videos for YouTube all the time. And you can catch us around. We play at Merchant Ale House quite a bit. If this is, for the Niagara fans, you can catch us at Merchant Ale House usually once a month on a Sunday night. If you got nothing going on, come request a song that isn't Sweet Caroline, and we'll play it for you gladly.
Hell yeah. There he is. Jay Knelsen of Real Kevin on Let's Make a Playlist. Let's Make a Playlist is a podcast created, hosted, and produced by me, Jonathan Howe, for House Media. For additional content, links to the songs featured in this playlist, and more music writing, check out my Substack, House. There you can subscribe to get my blogs emailed to you for free, or if you wish to support my work, subscribe for $5 a month. If you enjoyed this week's episode, please rate, review, subscribe, or leave a comment with who you would like to see on Let's Make a Playlist in the future, and we'll be back with more playlists.